Hey everybody, this is Strategywizard again. Today I'm going to be doing a review of Unusual Suspects. This is designed by Paolo Mori and it's published by Cool Mini or Not and Cranio Games. Oh, I say Cranio Games, I see Cranio Creations. Not familiar with them, but I know Cool Mini or Not, and this game I can tell you has no minis in it, so this is the or not portion. So this game is 20 minutes long, they say. Yeah, and I would pretty much agree. It's pretty short and maybe even shorter than that. Age is 14 plus. I think you can go way lower than that. I don't think 14 plus is necessarily, you don't have to have that kind of age. I don't know what their reasoning is there. They say 3 to 16 players. I disagree with that, but you'll see why in a little bit. Basically, this is a game that's fully cooperative. You're a witness, and you have cops trying to figure out who the bad guy is, who's the criminal. And it's unique, it's different, and I would also say it's controversial from things that I have read on Board Game Geek. But let's go to the table, show you how to play, and then we'll talk about that. So here's the basic setup no matter how many players you have. The game says it's 3 to 16. I say this game is 2 to infinity. As long as you can fit people in the room, you're good, but you can go down as low as 2. Now, I kind of understand why they say 3, because they want you to have a little debate going on, but it's a fully cooperative game. One player is the witness. They've witnessed a crime. They know who the villain is. And the other players are the cops, or if it's just one player, which I've played that way, and I think it works well too, then that other person is the cop trying to find out who the criminal is. So basically, it's kind of funny. Thematically, it's very hilarious because the witness is unable to speak and they can't answer any questions that are directly related to their physical appearance. So the cops are asking questions like, they'll draw one of these. Does the victim, I mean not the victim, does the criminal, do they, but that means the criminal, does the criminal spend a lot of time in the bathroom? So you're going to be asking these kind of random questions. Are they a vegetarian? Do they own a house? All these different kinds of questions that they have nothing to do necessarily with these people per se, but this game really ultimately is about stereotyping based on appearance. And so the witness will turn over a card. This will show them who, in this particular game, who the bad guy is. And in this case, it's the top right. It's this nice little fellow over here. So they know this, the cops don't. At this point, every time they ask a question, let's just go ahead and flip one over. They'll start off, the cops will say, does the criminal drink a lot of coffee? Well, the witness takes this card and they decide to put it under yes or no. In this case, let's just say I am the witness. That guy looks like, he doesn't look so much like a coffee drinker to me, but maybe he does. That's a tough one. So, but I don't like coffee, so I'm going to say, nah, he doesn't drink a lot of coffee. But you can't say this. The witness cannot say any words. All they can do is this right here. They put it underneath it silently, and then the cops go, okay, so the bad guy does not drink a lot of coffee, so they have to flip over at least one card that they think is innocent. So if the bad guy doesn't drink a lot of coffee, we want to flip over people who do drink a lot of coffee because they should be innocent. Well, I would say this coach probably drinks a lot of coffee, so you flip him over. This guy, I don't know about him. It's hard to say. She looks like she probably drinks a lot of coffee, probably fancy coffee. And, oh yeah, you know this guy. This guy, he likes his coffee dark and no sugar, no cream. So you flip him over, and so you decided, okay, let me put this back over here as a reminder because it is easy sometimes to get mixed up. The witness said, nope, they don't drink a lot of coffee. So you want to flip over people that you think look like they do drink a lot of coffee because you're trying to flip over people that you think are innocent. So now, if the cops had flipped over the criminal, then immediately the witness would say, oh, sorry, we didn't make it, we lost the game. But in this case, that didn't happen, so you continue. You move this question over to the side, and then they would get to ask another question. Do they travel abroad often? So they'd have to say, oh, that guy, I don't think so. I don't think he travels a lot. So again, the cops are trying to flip over people who they think do travel a lot. Who looks like they travel a lot? Well, she might be a traveler. She looks like she could, since she's international, you can think, well, she's possibly visiting. So let's just say yes, and let's just say yes for him. He's visiting from India, so he probably travels a lot. And other people, a little harder to tell. I don't know. So I would stop again. We're still in the game. Great. Well, as you're doing this, after each round, if you want, you can use this little pad to track your score on how much time you spent in the investigation. Basically, you say, for the first question, how many suspects did you eliminate? In our first one, we got rid of 3, I believe. So you'd write 3, and it'd be 1 times 3, and you'd put 3 over here in time spent. And then on the second one, we got rid of 2, unless I'm quite mistaken. So 2 suspects eliminated, 2 times 2 is 4, and you keep on doing this, and ultimately your investigation time will be written here as you total all of this. I hope I had this in the screen, to be honest, I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, hopefully you get the idea, and you'll write down the team of players here. That way you can keep track of your games and how well you do. We don't really do that. We kind of scribbled on that one a little bit, but we don't really play that way just because we just want to have fun, have a good time. Not so worried about keeping track of that. But basically, this is the game. The cop or cops are asking questions from this deck, and the witness is answering these questions, and you keep on trying to eliminate people until you've either flipped over the actual villain, in which case you all lose, or you end up finally narrowing it down to where the villain is the only one left, and then you win. That is the game. So let's go ahead and go up, and I will... Oh, before I do that, let me just say this. One other component that's interesting, they give you these blanks. These blanks let you write your own questions if there's things that you wish you could ask that aren't in here, but I haven't done that, as you can see. So anyway, let's go up and then I will tell you what I think. Okay, so this game, obviously, you can probably see why it's controversial because it really promotes, maybe I shouldn't say promote, it just requires stereotyping. Literally, this game is a stereotyping game. However, that being said, I don't think, I've seen a lot of people who just lambast this game, they just hate it for that reason. The reason why I don't think that's such a big deal is because, first of all, most of these questions are they're just very innocent questions. Do they drink a lot of coffee? Big whoop. Do they own a house? Big whoop. Are they a vegetarian? I mean, they're not controversial questions or anything like that. Now, I think there might be a few in here that might be. In fact, I think there's one card in here that says, is the criminal racist? Do they save money? Do they have a record player? Do they eat a lot of fast food? Do they have a smartphone? Do they have unpaid parking tickets? Are they a good driver? Do they have a good singing voice? Do they go by a nickname? Do they use paper plates at home? Do they have a gun? Do they like gambling? I mean, some of these, you might consider them somewhat controversial, but here's the thing. Well, I'll save this until, let me get past my basic points. Component-wise, I think that this game is nice. The cards aren't just super great quality, but they're nice. They're good quality, so they're sturdy. And the pad, if you want to use the scoring pad, there's tons of pages, which is great. So I'm happy with the component quality. Replayability is huge. You have a ton of different characters. You've got a ton of different questions to ask, and you can make your own. So there's lots of replayability. And strategy-wise, well, again, this is one of those games where strategy isn't really, it's more psychological again, kind of similar to other games I've reviewed. But it's not really luck-based either. It's all up to what question, the luck is in the cards that get asked, but theoretically, they will still guide you in the right direction, given the right kind of answer from the witness. So I think it's another one of those gray areas, but I would say that I'm happy that it's not super luck-based. So that's a positive. But as far as what I think about the game, and then I'll explain more about, I'll talk more about the stereotyping and all that kind of stuff. I would easily give this game an 8 out of 10 because it's really fun. I think people, I know a lot of people disagree with this, but to me, it's great if you're going to play with your group. This is not the kind of game I would probably bring to a bunch of random people that I don't know, because then you may be setting yourself up for some awkward situations because, some of these questions could be considered controversial because people will interpret your intent whenever you answer a certain way or say, oh, that person's not this way or that way. People might interpret it in a way that's maybe not what you intended, or maybe you did intend it that way, but then you don't want people to know. But the point is, this game, even though it can be controversial, to me, if you're within your family playing or close friends, this is funny. It's hilarious to me because you're making these guesses based on just your gut or what you think the other person. You're trying to think like the witness. What would the witness think? Because if you go just on yourself, you may be wrong. You're trying to get into the witness's mind, and it's entertaining, and it can make some really funny moments. So to me, yeah, it may be controversial, but it's not meant to be hurtful. It's not meant to be insulting or degrading. I mean, obviously, you can say anything about any of these characters depending on, how you want to play. I mean, it's not like, to the extent that people say that it's maybe too stereotypical or you're stereotyping too much. It can go any way, and it can be funny because if you can't laugh at yourself, hey, there's a problem. You got to be able to laugh at yourself. You got to be able to entertain the idea that I'm not perfect. People can make fun of me, and this game is a great way to do it. I find it to be very enjoyable in that sense. So I'm just going to say, whenever I do my video for me versus the critics, I have a feeling a lot of people in there are going to say that it's just a very mean game and it's promote stereotyping, blah blah blah. But I'm just jumping ahead of the gun. I'm going to say, to me, that only matters if you're going to play with random people. So don't let that discourage you from buying this game. I don't think you should. I think it's great. I mean, come on. Cool Mini or not, they're not going to publish a game that's mean or cruel or anything like that. That's obviously not their intention. Take it for what it is. It's light, it's funny, it's a quick little game of cooperation, and get some laughs out of it and enjoy it. So that's my review. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, if you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm mean, cruel, vicious, but I think it's just funny. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe, because I've got plenty more videos for you to watch, and I will continue to put more out. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And until then, take care.